Yeah. Apparently, it's a tradition with me to yawn at the beginning of like every kind of recording thing. Also, if you hear any like tumbling noises in the background, that would be my laundry drying. So, there we are. Also, thank you for the wonderful intros and everything's Asami Jen and all the stuff in the chat. That's wonderful. Always appreciate that. Okay. Now today we are probably going to at least get the coloring down. I don't know how much of the texture work we're going to be able to do, but we are going to get the coloring at least down for the table. Though I might actually do a little bit of modeling work on the tabletop itself, because I think it's slightly rounded in the reference image there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Go in the edit mode here. There you go. Okay. Now let's see here. Side view, zoom in. I think I'm actually going to grab this and move it up. And let's see, like that. Not fun having to replace the microwave. Do you happen to have a stove that could reheat stuff on? Or a toaster oven? Because you can reheat things on those. Like if you create a soup and you keep it in the container that you cooked it in, and then you put it back on the stove and reheat it that way. Okay, let's see here. Do that. That actually looks just about right. Let's put that to that and angle it. Okay. Yeah, I think the model is... Excuse me, I think the model is done. Because we've got all the legs. Excuse me. We've got the two nails. We've got all the pieces of wood here. And we've got the top, and it looks about the right shape. Actually, the bottom ring could be a little smaller. Spontaneous 1 minute midnight hot dogs. uh, that's also me remembering doing similar stuff when I was younger. Yeah, it's like you just don't pay attention to it. Also, it could have just been in this one scene where the two nails are still there. Because sometimes, like, objects disappear even in the same episode. Like, but didn't they have that? Or, huh? Okay. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Okay. Okay. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. Also, you can see like some leftovers from as the CMC were putting their clubhouse together, how they kind of rushed certain things. Like how these nails are like barely in there and kind of mostly jutting out. Because either these are really long nails and they're in the wood, or they're, excuse me, barely in the wood and mostly bent. Also, why are there nails there? Because if you look at um, how the structure's put together, these nails are just going into the side of the wood. They're not supporting anything. Because this piece of wood would be nailed into that piece of wood. And this piece of wood would be nailed into the legs. So, why is this nailed into the side of the board? Like, if you look at my recreation of it, we have these two nails nailed into the side of the board. But that's not supporting anything. They're just there. Did they like nail them into the side so they could like hang bags and stuff off of them? Like, why did they put those nails in the board? And why aren't there other nails on the side of the board to show that it's nailed into this board? Like, this should be nailed into that. Or did they, or can you not see the nails that are attaching these boards because they're actually underneath, nailing from the board itself to the outside? Then why don't you see any nails poking through the outside? So like, why are those nails even there? Ah. Okay. We got the table. We got the pieces of wood. Okay. So I'm gonna name these. Okay. uh, it would not be me drawing that comic. I will not draw that comic. That's a lot of work. Okay, now what am I going to name these? Okay. That's inside the table there. Okay, I can get rid of that because I don't need that anymore. That one and that I want to keep. But we want to hide those. So yeah, that's also a fun explanation. Like, Scootaloo got bored. I'm gonna hammer some nails into this wooden object. Ugh. Yeah. Also, makes me wonder, have they invented screws yet in the MLP world? And like, would it be easier for screws? Because I know in our world it's easier to use screws on a lot of objects than it is to use nails, unless you need a particular type of uh, rating for areas that experience a lot of shear force. Shear force is two objects sliding past each other. Uh, because screws aren't good for that because of the nature of how they're made. So they snap in half easier than a nail. A nail is more likely to bend underneath that kind of force instead of just completely snap. So like, it makes me wonder, like, have they invented screws yet, or do they just like use nails because it's easier to hammer in a nail with a hoof than it is to have to rotate something? Because I can see unicorns preferring screws over nails because they can just rotate them really quickly with their magic. You know, screwing them into a piece of wood or metal or something like that, as opposed to having to hammer in a nail by lifting up a hammer and holding a nail. And at least unicorns using magic to hammer in a nail don't have to worry about that problem of like, okay, I'm gonna hold this with my fingers, gently tap on that nail and hopefully it seats in place, and then hammering it in. Because otherwise you get the whole slip. Oh, there's my thumb. Oh, that's painful. Thinking of the logistics of a fictional world is an interesting pastime I have. Okay, let's see here. Going to, let's see. Okay, that's not what I want. Ah! Something I did not pick up on. Thank you for letting me know that, Sasami-chan. Yeah, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, nails are just easier for earth ponies, because having to hold a screwdriver and rotate your entire head to like, get the screw is a lot of, like, that. You can get dizzy off of that really easily. Unless you use that whole magical hoof thing where you can somehow pick up objects by tapping your hoof to it. Then maybe you can rotate it using your hoof. Okay. I need to create a collection here. I'm trying to remember how. Okay, okay, well, that didn't quite work. Yeah, I guess it's just a little easier to do that, so, okay. There we go. Let's see. There's that, there's that, there's that. That looks good. Yeah, there's a lot of comics that there are like a lot of pages long. There. Speaking of comics, if you haven't like read it yet, there's this great one on, I believe it's Webtoons. Let's see here. Yeah, Webtoons. On Webtoons, called Room of Swords. That is a really good comic. It's very sci-fi, very to use a term from Doctor Who, timey-wimey. So that's a good comic. Go and give that a read. And it's like probably around 100 and some odd pages right now. Yeah, it's like 130, I think. Let me, like, I can actually go into the app and look. And I wouldn't really say 100 pages because, like, the way pages are structured in Webtoons is a little different, and it's 148 episodes. I'm just gonna call them episodes because they're not really pages because they're just long strips of comic. So there's no real page break. Okay. So yeah, that's a great comic. Anyone who's listening to this should go and read. It's very popular, it's very well done. Oh my god, the writers are just doing an excellent job. I'm like, the stuff they would have to write down to keep track of how well their plot is. They must have a book of notes at least a foot thick. uh, they must have been like working on this project since like high school. That's how detailed this comic is story wise. Okay, let's see. Yeah, everything looks good enough. It matches well enough for to be as close to show accurate as possible. So now we just need to texture everything. After I make sure I do some organizing. There we go. So I'm not quite sure. Panels? Boards? Not quite sure what to name those. So I'm just going to call them table boards. This way I can find them easier later if I need to connect them to anything. Yeah, you've brought it up a couple times, and I haven't had a chance to really read it myself. Okay, that will make that easier to reference later. Okay. It's molding. That's the wall, that's the roof. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. So we're going to need to create a texture. Ah. Okay. Let's go with the tabletop first here. Wonder if I can just, because they're all gonna be on the same texture file. Can I do that and add that material to all of them? to only edit it to 1. The good news is I can just do this. Yes, only all coffee. Okay. And just do this. And add the material to all of them. Okay. Excuse me. And I'll just do that for its base color. Let's go here to new image. And this is going to do, was it 4,000 something, I think is the size. Yeah, 4,096. Okay. Oops. Well, okay. There we go. And there we go. Okay, and now call this table. Actually, let's call it green table. There we go. Now we're gonna go to the here and save this image. Save it to my texture folder. And there we go. Now we need to do a UV unwrap, so let's go to texturing. Looks like I'm going to have to model a picture. A water pitcher to be precise, with some flowers in it. Because I just noticed that in this other reference image in the episode. Okay. So let's change this over to table, green table, there we are. Actually, wrong one. We want this one to be green table. And we're going to change this to apple bloom. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go back over to, let's see. And go back over to modeling. So I can actually select all of this. Then go back over to texturing. And like so. material overview, that's what we want. Okay. Yep. And let's see. Oh, geez, stretch. Oh. Okay. Now, let's see here. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Okay. That is interesting right there. Okay. Okay, that is like really odd how that unwrapped that. Okay. Okay, dokie. That just feels really weird to me. Okay. Let's see here. Do 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 do. That seems to unwrap pretty okay, except I think this is upside down. Yeah. Mm. Actually, it's not. It's not upside down. The proportions are off. Is what's going on. This spot here has the smallest area, and this part here has the largest area. But that's not how that is. This has the smallest area. This has the largest area. So the ratio between the two is what's off. Okay. Yay! So let's see if we can unwrap this a little bit better. Wow. That didn't that just broke everything. Okay. No? What does unwrap do? Okay, that did absolutely nothing. Okay. D. Okay, still didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. Okay. So I just have to make that match that ratio. A lot of stretching today for me. Okay. Let's see here. So overall, this is okay. So these two are good. It's the side that's broken, so I just need to get the ratios of these to work here. So let's see, how am I going to do that? I need a measuring stick of some sort here. So what I'll do is I'll exit out of that object. I'll bring up that, go to cursor mode, and put the cursor right here. Let's see. Yeah, that should be fine. So I'm gonna put that back to that. I'm gonna do this and make sure cursor is to grid, so it's locked in there nice. And I'm gonna add a plane. Going to edit mode, change it to this. Grab that. Okay, let's actually just put this into wireframe mode. Grab both those, drag them over to there. Don't actually need those. I'm going to delete those. Grab one and actually put it up to here. Okay. Wireframe. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now we can use this as a measuring stick. Okay. I believe I do that. Cool, that's what I wanted. That will give me that. I can highlight this and hit tab on both. Or not. Let's see here. Oh, next little sort today. Okay. Okay. Why am I not able to select any points? Okay, that's interesting. We're in the UV editor. Nope. And nope. Oh, that's interesting. Why am I not able to select anything? Dee 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 dee. I can do that, but I can't select anything. Okay, now I can select stuff from over here. And now I can select things. Okay. What happened? I can select things. What the heck broke, man? Okay. Okay, now I can't. Um. Okay. Well, that is just all sorts of weird. uh, yeah, that can happen sometimes. I'm reading over a Sasami Chan's comment, where like as you're building something in 3D, you're like, oh, it looks great from this angle. Then you rotate it just a little bit, and you're like, oh, bugger. Uh, and that can actually happen in 2D too. When you're working on a 2D drawing and you flip and you mirror the image to help your brain get a different point of view of it, and you just look at it and go, ugh, what? Why does that not look right anymore? I think what's actually going on is I actually look at the editor on the side and I click on the object that doesn't have any faces. This object is basically a measuring stick, and it doesn't have any faces on it, so I can't edit it over on the UV mapping panel. But the moment I click on this object here, which has faces, that's the thing. But this is, I can still work with this because we have the bottom here, and let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I do this here, that tells me. Okay. Ah. 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 Okay. Time to do some tweaking here, and I believe do that, and I can do this in origins only. I can grab the origin and put the origin at the bottom here. I should keep it. Yep, it's centered. Okay, now I can undo that. Go back to this. Get back over to the side. That's what we want. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so the distance from here to here is 0.15. Here to here. Okay, let's. Oh, stretching. This is always the hard part, getting the proportions right. Okay, so actually, let's see. That's probably going to be the easiest if I do that. So what we want to do here is zoom out, go to face select mode, and highlight just the faces on the side. There we go. Then we can go over here, select all, grab it. Whoa! Apparently, holding on the control key causes hysteria. That is broken. Okay, let's do with this. So I can just grab that and slide it all the way down to the bottom. Click on that. That's what we want. Zeros across the board. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to highlight that row. Zoom in a little bit here. Grab it. And just move it up so it's out of the way. Highlight those. Okay. Change this back to this mode. Change back to that. Which somehow also highlights those two areas, which I did not want. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I was doing that so I could get the measurements. Okay, so that's 1.5. 3 and 4. Okay, so that's 2. Okay. Also, I like what you did there, Sasami-chan, the classic, like, have you turned it on and off? Have you plugged it in? Have you unplugged it? All that fun stuff. So just to get proportions right here, I'm going to actually highlight this and set this to, just make sure it's the right one. No, that's the side to side. We want this. Okay, So we need to set this. I'm going to set this to 4,000. Yeah, because I can always scale things down. And this we want at 3. And we want this at 1. 500. Okay, now that's proportionately accurate from top and bottom. So now I can select all of it, hit scale, and do this. So now they're proportionally the correct length from each other. Okay. You are just a tiny bit late, Color and Flow. just a tiny bit, because I usually try to end my streams around an hour after I started, and it's 11:58. But hey, better late than never. Progress is doing okay right now. We're just getting the tabletop part of the model texture mapping almost done, so the proportions were correct for it. We just finished that part, so now we have this nice setup here that I'm going to grab and put back up to the top and do this. Excuse me. Okay, gonna scale it a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Actually, now let's leave it like that. Highlight that. Grab. Slide that up to there, like so. Highlight all of it. Okay. I have not listened to the your song yet, because I actually have most of my Discord notifications turned off, because I am in too many Discord servers for my own good. So I just kind of like generally have all notifications for Discord turned off unless it's a private message or an @ So let's see, it's just noon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish scaling this down so I have room for other things. But first I have to figure out, let's try that one, see if that does. No, that's still doing that. Okay. Let's move, that's scale. Okay. Yeah, they're still doing the individual things instead of scaling it as a group. So how do I scale it as a group? Okay. That's all sorts of wonkiness. Maybe it's under tool options here. If that does it. Nope, that doesn't do it. Okay. Nope. I can do that. Okay, so wonder if it's like a control key or something here. Nope. Well, this is just getting annoying. Like, because all I want to do is scale it all as one object, which is what it is. Okay. So, I wonder if it's... Ah. Yay! Found the button. Wonder if we do that. Yes, that's what we want too. Okay. Okay, that should give us enough room. And actually, why don't we scale that up like so? There we go. Okay. Okay. Do that, and let's go. What does Smart Unwrap get us? Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, I think I can actually go with that. DT, and then we'll just scale that down because we don't actually need a lot of texture resolution for the nails. So I can put that into the corner there. Go to UV, go to this, hit OK. Do here. Oh, excuse me. It does. Any interaction, like the fact that I have comments going on the stream, I should say a chat going on the stream, interactions in the chat, likes, subscribes, watches, watch time, all of that makes the stream more likely to get more views and stuff in the future. So that's handy. So thank you for liking the stream. Okay. And there we go. Zoom out. Ah, that's cool. I'm going to be working on some stuff right after this, so, like, folding my clothes for one. Right now, I'm working on this. Let's see here. Yeah, all of these can actually have the same texture space, I think. No, they can't. The legs can't have their own texture spot on their own because they all look the same pretty much, and they don't need that much texture real estate because the legs are all pretty much just one color. And so I can actually put these here. Just highlight that bottom one there and hit cursor to select it. Okay, that's not really what I wanted. Let's turn this off temporarily. Do that. Now cursor to selected. There we go. Now turn that back on. Go back to 2D cursor. Scale it down. There we go. Grab this and move it over. Because the legs don't need a lot of texture space. But we do know the boards and the tabletop do need the most texture space because they have a lot of detail in them compared to the rest of it. So we're almost done here. We just need to select those and do that. Now let's see here. Go front. Actually move this into 3D. Change this to material view. Face select. Okay. Oh, you licked the stream. uh... Ugh. Okay. That's kind of worrying in a way. Well, worrying. Now let's see here. Why don't I just limit it to one object here at the front? Cough right into my watch. Okay. Mm. Okay. Do, 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 do. So what I need to do actually is I'm going to highlight all of this and I'm going to scale it down. So it's going to be a little easier to work with. Okay. Let's change this to origins. Go over here. Grab the origin and move it down. uh, yeah, I can kind of go along with that. You know, especially since when I was younger, I was hit by a car and bounced like 15 feet down the road. So, yeah, I feel those aches and pains. Like, my back has always been off because of that. Oh, look. Old people who are older talking about aches and pains. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Nope. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so what I actually need to do is grab that and just slide that into the corner here. And go over here, go to this, so I can click on the individual points and get the measurements. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish up this block, and then I'm going to call it a day. And hopefully next stream, which should be tomorrow around this time, I'll be able to actually do actual texture work and not just layout for texture work. Actually, a little bit of, I can actually do a little bit of texture work right now real quick. By clicking on the nails, zooming in here. Okay, go over here, do this, switch this over to texture paint. Paint bucket, scroll down here and click on this, go over here and click on that. And click on that. Let's see if it crashes. Did not crash, but I'm going to save real quick before I attempt it again. And any younger people watching this later are going to look at that and go, what is he referencing? Though the nice thing is that classic Batman TV series is so in the lexicon of pop culture that a lot of people recognize it just because of how many times it's been referenced. Also, great job on puns. Puns are cool. Puns are welcome in this chat room. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I should be able to just do what I'm doing now. Just read the chat room, everyone. I just read the chat room. The puns. Visual puns are like some of my favorites, especially the one that takes you a little bit to like look at it and go, huh. There's a pun here, I know it. And you just stare at it for a while, and then suddenly it hits you, and you're like, oh. Oh. Ah. Maybe on next stream I'll show you one of my favorite visual puns and see how long it takes to get it. I think it was drawn by the Far Side artist, so that's a cool one there. So let's see, why am I not able to... Let's go back to object mode. Now you select one and then go into texture paint. Why am I not getting any color whatsoever? That is interesting. Excuse me. Oof. Puns. I love puns. They make me hurt so good. Okay. So why am I not being able to paint these in any way? Maybe I have to change. No, solid view should have that. Ceilings are, yeah, most ceilings are over our heads. Okay. That's odd because all the faces are selected. Let's just select one face and see if we can paint it. Why am I not able to paint? Yeah, I'm getting nothing. Let's see. Mixing texture detected. Oh! Okay. Aha. Ah. I see what I've been doing wrong. I forgot to actually attach the texture to the material. Yay! I am such a smart individual. Okay. Now I need to go, let's change this to DDD. Where are you? Texture node editor. I don't think that's what we need here. Probably material editor, shader editor. That's what the one we wanted, because we want to go add input. No, it's texture. Texture, image. Then we want to go over here and we want to green table. Grab that and put that in there like so. We want to go here and just make sure save that and save the whole entire project. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now I can go in here and I should be able to do this. And like so. And here. There we go. 2 parts of the texture actually texturized. Now hit save and save. Okay, I am actually going to call that for the day because of how long it took me to remember that, oh, I didn't attach the image to the texture. So let's see here. Sky's the ceiling is my limit actually. So anyhow, that current texture looks smooth and well highlighted. Thank you. I love how your YouTube autos to 360p, 720p now, trying to see clearer. I remember that happening in 3D projects before too, where people textured one thing and it textures all of the thing, and it textures all of the things. Yep. Okay. So that's all good. An hour at a time, 2 days a week. Pretty much. But I'm actually making pretty good progress for that amount of time. Okay, let's just adjust some views here a little bit. So save, and well, I think that wraps it up for today. So the usual stuff for YouTube: click like, click subscribe. There's links down below for all the usual stuff, more of my art, more of stuff overall in general. Share this video, click the subscribe and bell button. Share this video around. If you're new to this channel, we've got plenty of other videos you could watch other than my streams. And you can, get this. This is completely unedited, so you get all my yawns and my stretches and noises in the background. I'm lucky today that there were no leaf blowers. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me. And for all the people who watch later, thank you. And I'm just going to say, y'all have a good time out there. Bye-bye. Thank you, Colin and Flo. Thank you, Sasami-chan, for stopping by. It's always nice to have company.